change in velocity, delta v. Delta means change. This is also measured in meters per second, so it's a kind of velocity, but its meaning is very, very different to instantaneous velocity and average velocity. Change in velocity means how much faster it's going at the end of the interval than it went at the beginning. If the answer is negative, it means it's going slower at the end. So it tells us if the velocity is speeding up or slowing down. We can calculate change in velocity by final velocity minus initial velocity. So let's do that for each of these intervals. For the first interval, the final velocity was 20 meters per second and the initial velocity also 20 meters per second. So the velocity didn't change at all. So obviously the change in velocity is 0 meters per second. 20 minus 20 is 0. Pause the movie while you fill in the other gaps. Can you see that the answer is 0 for all of these intervals? Because the velocity is not changing. So the velocity at the end of every interval is 20 meters per second, and at the beginning of that interval also 20 meters per second, because the velocity is just always 20 meters per second for this motion. And so the change in velocity is 0 meters per second for every interval.